Did you know students who don't have a strong conceptual foundation in fractions can struggle with mathematics as early as fourth grade? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to add and subtract fractions conceptually. Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle, aka The Ignited Teacher, and on this channel what I do is I help math teachers of struggling learners to effectively manage their classrooms and to increase student achievement through math instructional strategies, classroom management, project-based learning, response to intervention, and technology integration. It's important for students to have a strong conceptual understanding of fractions, because as they move through the curriculum, by the time they reach fifth grade, they have to have mastered equivalent fractions, comparing fractions, in order to add fractions with unequal denominators. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to teach students how to add fractions conceptually using fraction wheels, along with the algorithm. And this approach has been really effective for me because it shows where the students are starting, and it shows where they are going. So having the students work the algorithm and the conceptual together, it gets the kids to transition to the algorithm a lot quicker. So in this part of the video, it's going to show you how conceptual understanding connects to the algorithm. And like I said before, the conceptual part actually tells you what is happening in the algorithm, but we don't use it as the end because it's not an efficient way to add fractions. So on the left side, I'm finding common denominators by using a process of skip counting. Skip counting is in the vertical alignment for students and for teachers to teach at the lower levels. Well, I use it in fractions because I found that since this skill has been pushed down to fifth grade, a lot of my students struggle with their multiplication facts. So I just use the skip counting and have the students find a common denominator by skip counting to denominators and then circle them. And so in this problem, we found that 3/9 and 4/9 have the same common denominators. So we use that as an equivalent. And on the right side, where the conceptual model is taking place, you notice that I'm almost finished with the algorithm and I'm still shading in. So when we talk about why we need the algorithm for students, it is a more efficient way of solving problems. But do we start with the algorithm? Absolutely not. Those common denominators, you can talk about this in the conceptual model. It is actually a place where you can have really rich conversations. And if you notice here, we have 1/3 and 4/9. You can see where 4/9 and 1/3 are unequal. And I always ask, well, why did they go back to unequal denominators instead of unlike denominators? But if you look at this conceptual model, it supports their reasoning for changing that language, because in third grade, they start to compare fractions. In fourth grade, they compare fractions, I think, fractions with common denominators, like 1/2, 6 thirds, nothing major. But in fifth grade, they're supposed to be able to go between the two. But here, as you see on the screen, I compare 1/3 and 4/9. And I write out that 1/3 is less than 4/9. And this can be done the same with subtracting fractions, but the only difference is is that you're instead of putting the fraction parts together, you're going to subtract it. And that's the only difference. A lot of people will say that subtracting fractions is supposed to be different, and it's not. All you do is connect the adding to the subtracting. And then you have the kids tell you and talk about what is different when you're adding and subtracting fractions with unequal denominators. The process is the same, but the only thing that is different is the actual operation. Instead of putting it together, you're going to subtract it from it. So if we were subtracting here, we would subtract 1/3 or 3/9 from 4/9, and it will come out with a different answer. But kids get caught up in that. So if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe to my channel and click the bell to get notifications for when I upload new videos.